Hello everybody, Rob here from Average Hobby, and today we have another unboxing and review video. So, what is it today? Well, it is, ta-da, the Army Painter Warpaints Air Starter Set. With the Fanatics coming out very soon, I thought I'd grab the starter for the air paints, because I'm starting to do base air painting a little bit better, a little bit more. And I'm just trying to work on it, try to work on my skills, but I thought I'd get myself the full set, or sorry, the starter set, because I have the War Paints starter set. This will be the Air Paints starter set. We've got obviously our Speed Paints, and I thought, well, gotta try out the Air Paints. So with that in mind, let's open this thing up and let's take a look. Now, initial thoughts is the cardboard inserts. I understand pricing, price cutting is a thing, but yeah. So, ooh, this is interesting. Okay. How to airbrush. Highlight, mid-tone, base. This is actually very nice. This actually gives you a heads up as to how to actually use these paints. That's actually a nice thing. Start with the lower base color triad on the lowest downward facing areas, and Kermit Red is the base for pure red. Then add the mid-tone in the triad to most of the model, spraying slightly from above and from the side. And then step 3, finally apply the highlight from above in the areas you want emphasis on. If you run into issues with your airbrush, have a look at our airbrush troubleshooting video, which I'm assuming is that QR code. It'll guide you through resolving most common issues. Very nice. And then I'm assuming this is not all the colors. No, this is the mega set. Okay. Because they usually do a small set, an intermediate set, a mega set, and then a complete set. But yeah, there's a picture of the... Though I think for the air paints, I think it's starter set, mega set, and complete. But yeah, so it shows highlight, mid-tone, base. I like that. Lots of colors in this. Not in the one I got here. The usual pamphlet that's free in store if you go into the store, but it says, done. Wow, I like this. This is nice. No stickers, though. Just like to say, boo to that. Well, my son would say boo to that, because he wouldn't get to put any stickers on his door. Because where we get them. But here we go. Nice. I will note that the box is kind of warped a little bit there. So we got our primer, our matte primer. Barbarian Flesh, which is a mid-tone. Ultramarine, which is a mid-tone. We got a white, which is apparently a highlight in this case. We got Pure Red, which is another mid-tone. 2 more mid-tones. We got Skeleton Bone and Leather Brown mid-tones. Another mid-tone in gray. I'm noticing these are all 100% color matching as well. Relatable is not down there. Plate mail, which isn't a highlight, or they should do the triad for the metal plates as well, to be honest with you. Purple, which is another mid. We got green skin, matte black, which is saying it's a base, and last but not least, demonic yellow. So get a whole bunch of midtones, one highlight, and one base. Honestly, I think they should have given you at least 1 full set or 2 full sets. Because you think about it, we got what? 3, 6, 9, 12. So they could have given us 4 sets of mid-tone, highlight, and base. But they didn't. The colors here are the same that are in every base pack, which kind of makes sense why they're the same colors. It's kind of a shame, though, that they're all just mid-tones, though. I was kind of hoping for something other than whatever. But I did think about that ahead of time. So the way I'm going to grab my airbrush, I'm going to grab one of my Assault dudes here. So what they want you to do with the airbrush is apply this way with your base, then go this way with your midtone, and then obviously just from above with your highlight. Which is basically just doing a zenithal. So basically what they also want you to do is use the gray primer as the base and then go from there. So then you do your base, your mid, and your high. And what we're going to do is, I thought about this earlier. Well, actually, before we even get into the next step, what I'm going to talk about. So I want to talk about what it is. So they're pre-made. They got mixing balls in them. They show you right here what they're going to do. So this being the base kind, I have here, or the mid-tone, I have here, haha, the base. I went ahead and got it anyways. So you can see, it goes Omega Blue, Ultramarine Blue, then Console Blue, which is, boom, here, and it says highlight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint my, three of these guys are actually getting their paints removed. You can actually kind of see, I've removed most of the paint. I missed a spot right in there. But the plan is to base these guys as per the directions on the how to use. So once again, the way they want you to do this is they want you to take these three paints. Okay, they want you to take the model. They want you to apply the base first, mostly from facing down, so kind of going like this. Then they want you to go mid-tone, spraying roughly like this, get the top, get most of the model, and then last but not least, they want you to then go with the highlight only from the top and hit the spots you want. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to walk you guys through right now how I'm going to do this and what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go and apply the matte gray. Let that sit for, I usually give 24 hours, but I don't know if it says how long. Okay, so if I contact Warpaint range made, yeah. I'll have to look it up to see how long you should give this to cure, to a proper cure. The usual stuff I deal with is 12 to 24 hours to let it cure properly before you actually apply over it. Always look at the cure times before you put your paints on. But yeah, so we're going to go with the gray primer and look to see how good that, and see how that that covers. Then what I'll do is I'll apply my base and my midtone using my really crappy VJart $20 airbrush. Yeah, and then as a little specialty part of all this, I'm then going to use my good airbrush with the 0.2 millimeter nozzle. My VJart has, I think it's a 4 or a 5. It's good for basing and doing overall painting, but this has a 0.2 on it. So I should be able to really, really go in there and get some really good spots for the highlights with this guy right here. Hoping, fingers crossed. I haven't used a 0.2 millimeter nozzle yet, so we will see. A lot of people will say you don't need it, but why not? It's my decision. Alright, so what's going to happen is I'll do a little cut in here, and I will be right back with all 5 Marines primed up. Not painted up, just primed up. And we'll have to see how good the air primer is, if I had to thin it or not. Theoretically, this gives quote-unquote perfect coverage. We shall see. Normally, I always add a little bit of thinner or flow improver, depending on if I want things to dry faster or slower. In this case, I might use a little flow improver or thinner just to maybe dry it off. Get it to dry a little quicker so I can record faster. Most likely not, though. Most likely I'm gonna actually no. I'm just gonna try it straight from the bottle. Got on the rock, not even on the rocks. Just boom. I'm gonna try it straight up. We'll see how it is, and I'll look to see how long it cures, and we will be right back. Okay, and we're back, everybody. So here are the two primers. So this right here is the Vallejo primer, Vallejo Gray, as you can see. And under this light, and under most of my light, this is gray, but it's super light. I never realized how light gray this is until the Army Painter Matte Gray, which is this right here. Holy smokes. Actually, so a few things I want to mention. Number one, about the Vallejo primer. I've been using Vallejo primers, black, whites, and grays for a while now to do zenithal. I've painted more than 100 miniatures with these primers, so I know how these primers go, and they're very good, very smooth, smelt, self-leveling, etc., etc., etc. And they're good, very good. Thumbs up. To me, they are very, very good primers. The matte gray war paint primer. Now, I'm assuming they're redoing the primers with the new Warpaint Fanatic line. We'll see. But then again, this is specifically designed to be an air primer, blah, 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 blah. Overall, if you look, it went on pretty good. I'm actually shocked. You can hear my compressor going in the background there. Give me one quick second. Yeah, it went on nice. I didn't use any thinners or flow improvers or anything else, and it went on really good. And I like the color, to be honest with you. I like the dark richness of it. It's almost got like a brown in mixed with it or something. I couldn't really tell you like the actual color other than it's gray. The fact that it's matte, you can tell that it's not as shiny, obviously. Than the Vallejo primer. Honestly, it hurts me to say this. I think I actually like the matte gray air primer better. One of the reasons why it hurts me is because I still have another bottle of Vallejo Gray to use. So I'm going to need to come up with it. I'm still going to use it until I don't have any of it. I think I've used this for over 100 models, and I think, I'm only, I'm only there. So what I think I might do, though, is maybe mix in a little bit of a dark brown with it or something. I don't know. I gotta figure something out to make this a little bit more favorable to me. But yeah, overall, I like it. I like it a lot. I feel like it went on nicely. It went on smoothly. Like I said, I didn't use any additives. In the end, obviously, I only use my thinner or flow improver if I want to change the dry times. But yeah, I am significantly impressed with the coverage and all that stuff. Okay, so with that in mind, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in a few moments here. And what we're going to do is we're going to have all 5 Marines here painted up with the Triad using the directions according to Army Painter. We'll see how that goes. It's going to be interesting to see how that works out. With that in mind, I'll be right back. And we're back, everybody. So here it is. It's all been painted up. And to be honest with you, it looks really, really good. Nice dark tones underneath. And then the highlight's pretty good. Unfortunately, the Omega Blue and the Ultramarine Blue are really close in color. So it doesn't really feel much of a color difference, to be honest with you. Almost it was just easier maybe to do the base and the highlight for these guys. What I'm probably going to do in the long term is maybe add a little bit of black to my Omega Blue. Do maybe 4 drops of this, 1 drop of black, and just make it a little darker. Nothing too crazy. I did have some issues. I was originally going with a 0.3 needle, at 20 psi, and I was getting some clogging. So I added 1 drop of thinner for every 5 drops of paint, and it started flowing through no problem. So that could be anything from, environmental effects, where I am, humidity, etc., etc., etc. I'm sitting at 42% humidity in the room I'm in right now. I've got a dehumidifier that tells me it. At 20, actually no, we're currently sitting at 19 degrees Celsius. So, yeah, so 20 psi, 0.3 needle with 1 drop of airbrush thinner for every 5 drops of paint. And this stuff is flowing like a dream. I think down the road, if I were to do utilize my 0.2 needle to do the highlights, I'm going to be testing it actually later tonight, but I think I'm going to be doing maybe a 40 psi possibly, and no air and no thinner, and we'll see how that goes. But overall, it went on amazing. Like I said, my main issue with these ones is with the Triad, the Omega Blue and the Ultramarine Blue are just way too similar, so you really don't see the difference. I would probably either go with a darker base a little bit more, or maybe mix in black, maybe do 4 drops of it, 1 drop of black. Other than that, it's sprayed on nicely. It didn't take too long to cure and dry on the actual model itself. Didn't add anything other than, like I said, the thinner. So that would obviously increase the drying time by a little bit. But yeah, overall, it was pretty good. It was amazing. It was good. There were no major hiccups. I'm going to be doing yet another test. That other test is going to be on some gene stealers. And I'm going to be using this right here. The charred bone, skeleton bone, and bleached bone. I'm going to try those guys and see how that goes. I'm going to do the skin, and then obviously the rest will be purple. So you guys probably won't see these guys all painted up or any way or shape or form, but you will see obviously my next test, which will be on my my gene stealers. Yeah, I'll show down the road after a couple more tests and plans and whatnot, just how well it's all turned out. But overall, like I said, so far a thumbs up. Like I said, my main issues here are just the colors in general. How some of the bases in the mid seem to be very close. Even here, the base in the mid, when I'm looking at these two, this one looks more brown than this one, so we will see how this goes. But yeah, so that is going to be the next experiment. So with that in mind, thanks for watching. I really appreciate you. You could have been watching anything else, but you were watching this. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.